Okay, so I just saw some guys pretty much comparison of the two games that are pretty big right now, inFamous and Prototype. inFamous, which is a PlayStation 3 only title, and Prototype, which is for both the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360, as well as the PC. Now, I've played a little bit of both these games, and on a lot of reviews I've read from people, on a lot of reviews I've seen from people, everybody seems to be swaying towards Prototype and not inFamous. And I just watched one review. I wasn't really going to do anything like this, but I watched one review a second ago. It was two parts, where the guy talked about inFamous and talked about Prototype, and I think he was a little bit swayed towards inFamous because I think he was probably a PlayStation 3 enthusiast, which you run into this a lot. But he said something that caught my eye. He was talking about the directors of the game, Sucker Punch and Radical, and he said Sucker Punch did only a few games, and their games were bigger than Radical's games, and Radical stood around with pretty much smaller title games. And out of the games he mentioned the Sly Cooper series, and then he mentioned Crash Bandicoot. Sly Cooper being Sucker Punch's, and Crash Bandicoot being Radical. Now, I don't know about you guys, but when I think of which one of those two games was bigger, from what I remember back in the day, Crash Bandicoot was a lot bigger game than Sly Cooper. Personally, I thought Crash Bandicoot was awesome. I didn't really like Sly Cooper all that much. Now, I've played both these games a little bit, both Prototype and inFamous. And from what I'm going to say, inFamous is not a bad game, but if I had to choose between the two, I'd say Prototype. Prototype's got more of a deeper storyline, I think. Now, with inFamous, from everything I've seen, and like I said, I haven't beat the game, I haven't played it all that much, but I definitely think that inFamous was cool from what I've heard, because you can go between good and evil. But when it comes to just a solid, good storyline, I really think Prototype has inFamous beat. I also think being multi-platform, where more people could play it, is also a good direction to go. Now, what I'd like to see it as Xbox 360 and PC only. Yes, I like Xbox 360s. I hate the PlayStation 3, but there are PlayStation 3 enthusiasts out there, so now they get a chance to play Prototype too. So definitely, I think Prototype being multi-platform, having a deeper storyline, and having just an all-around cooler character. And people who play both games, okay, the first inFamous, you're like a mail carrier, and you're just a normal guy, and there's an explosion, you're the only one that survives, and it's the same storyline as everything has ever been for a superhero. Peter Parker, bit by a spider, turns into fucking superhero. Batman, had a horrible childhood, then rose up to be the superhero. This guy, big explosion, becomes superhero. Prototype, not a superhero game. You wake up in the morgue, you're about to be dissected, you kill the people who are about to cut you open. It's just, you're not a superhero. You can kill anything, any person, you can consume these people, basically eat these people. And while you're not necessarily a bad guy, you're not a good guy either. You're more of a rogue. You just patrol the city. You can kill anything, kill anybody. In inFamous, yeah, you can choose between doing good and evil, but it's not. That is more of a superhero game. Prototype is not a superhero game. It is a free-roaming game, and while it does tend to take control of your characters more often than I would like, it's still free-roaming. You can still go back to free-roaming. Another thing about inFamous is that you have electrical powers, and while you can use these electricity, hundreds of thousands of different ways by the end of the game, it's just electricity. With Prototype, you can consume anybody walking on the road, and then you can become them. You can jump from the top of the tallest skyscraper and land, and the ground shatters underneath of you. You can turn your hands into blades and cut people in half. You can turn your hands into giant hammers and smash tanks. You can turn your hand into a whip and catch helicopters out of the fucking sky. I mean, it's just so much cooler things you can do with Prototype than you could with inFamous. And for some reason, whenever I saw inFamous, if any of you guys remember the Kids WB show, Static Shock, that's what that fucking game is. That is Static Shock with a white guy instead of a black dude. That's it. You fly around using electricity, you have electrical powers, that's it. Okay, I don't remember any Kids WB show being able to cut people in half. I mean, they probably could, but they did not just cut people in half. Didn't kill a couple scientists, didn't kidnap a doctor, you know, didn't turn into a fucking loony. Another thing that I liked about Prototype is, inFamous, you're just, you know, going through the city, you know, normal game, kind of like the old Spider-Man games. With Prototype, the city is becoming infested by this virus, which kind of gives it kind of a Resident Evil spin. These things are becoming mutated. These hunters, just all in all, like zombie type things, kind of like I Am Legend in a way. But then you got the stronger ones that are kind of like the hunters, and I think that taking that spin on it's cool, because then you can go through the city, and if you find any place that's infected, you can, you know, try to clear out the infection and make it habitable again. And, you know, every once in a while, just a random place becomes infected or becomes infested by the military. So, I mean, you constantly got something you can do. If you just want to free roam and kill things all day, you can do that. A lot of upgrades for both games. For your abilities, you can upgrade a lot in Prototyping, you can upgrade a lot in inFamous. Personally, I wish there was more upgrades in Prototype, I will say that. From what I've heard, inFamous does have more upgrades for your abilities, but from what I've seen, it's all electric. All has to do with electrical. Nothing is different. It's all electrical stuff. And with Prototype, it's different. You can send spikes to the ground, make your whip longer. You can run super fast. You can, like I said, you can't get hurt from falling. You can jump off the tallest skyscraper in the game, land on the ground, or land on a car even, and just completely demolish the car. I've seen a lot of written reviews. I've seen a lot of reviews by people. Everybody says Prototype is better. Personally, I like Prototype more. Really, I just want to throw out some key points and kind of throw out something it's shorter than a 10-minute video of this Prototype versus inFamous. Now, if you want to go out and play the games, personally, I think Prototype's better, especially since it's available on the PC. You can get this cheap $15 controller from Walmart and play it just like you'd be playing on a PlayStation or a Xbox. So definitely I would check out Prototype, especially if you got a computer. You can get on Steam and just download it. I think it's $40 or $50 on the computer. It's about $60 on the Xbox and $60 on PlayStation 3. Other than that, that's all I've got to say. Other than Xbox 360 rocks. I hate PlayStation 3. I've got all 3 systems, but I really don't like all of them. So, I haven't posted a video in a while. So, any questions, emails, let me know.